Well, we're very thrilled to have you on, especially since in our adjacent room we have an OU person, and then my co-host right here is an OU person. So I'm going to turn things over to Corey Majors, who loves OU and OU football.
Yeah, Coach, I'll get to some XFL stuff, but my wife's freshman year at Oklahoma was the national championship year, and she was like, it's going to be like this all the time. And I was like, well, you can't always expect that. But can you kind of explain how difficult it is to replicate that type of success when you have that a championship season?
Yeah, it really is. I say that, but we were relatively, we went back 2003 and 4 just a few years later, back to back, and couldn't get it done. And that just shows you, I kind of thought we were going to do this all the time too, until we lost in 3 and 4. So. It is difficult, and you look around, and I guess just here recently, Alabama's made it look pretty, pretty routine, but they're about the only one. And overall, it is really difficult to do it, multiple times. We were close, couldn't get it finished, but yeah, that 2000 year was really special to go undefeated and just to play as strong as we did down the stretch.
Now, you mentioned Alabama. You were back with Oklahoma for their bowl game this last year. What are your thoughts about Oklahoma eventually making their way to the SEC?
Oh, listen, we've got a long track record against SEC teams overall, and it's pretty positive. So we're not, now, we'll be prepared for it and ready for it. I enjoyed our coaching our guys for a month, and they played a really strong game against Oregon there in the Alamo Bowl. So it was, the neat part was how well they embraced me, and really, they were really wonderful and great to work with that whole month. And so, but anyway, OU we'll be a strong player in the FCC. I get it. We're not like we're going to win it like we've kind of won the Big 12 for so many years. But we understand that. There's other really great teams, especially at the top, and right now that'd be, Alabama and Georgia both, Georgia's really strong, at least a year ago they were. So, so anyway, but I think we fit well in that league, and I believe we'll do well in the league.
Coach Bob Stoops joining us right now. Coach Stoops, I played baseball and played at the major league level, and I know there's a major difference between how you attack and pitch in college versus how you attack and pitch in the minor leagues versus how you attack and pitch in the major leagues. Can you tell us the difference when you're putting together a system for OU versus XFL? And then I know there is the NFL level. How different are your schemes and your plays, or is it not much different from college to the pros?
I think the biggest difference is just your personnel, your players. Football's football overall. Believe me, there's been a lot of, you see a lot of, in the last 4, 5, 6 years, NFL teams working a lot of college schemes, right? Especially with quarterbacks and whatnot. So I think you play to your personnel with your schemes, and you recruit, draft to your, to your system, but ultimately the players are what win and lose games, and you've got to play to their strengths, and it's all about getting the right personnel, I think, at whatever level you're at.
It's interesting. We always we have a scout on hand at the station. His name is Brian Broaddus. He does fantastic work, and we always kind of talk about team building and where you start building that team when you're recruiting, whenever you're looking for guys for your XFL team. Where do you start? What's the foundation of the Bob Stoops team build?
I think as much as anything, you find those players that love football. They love to practice. They have a passion for it. And it means a lot to them, win or lose, how they play, so it's finding the right character guys with the right passion and love for the game.
When the XFL, like so many of other things, ran into problems in 2020 when the pandemic hit, I know everyone was hopeful that it would come back. Clearly an ownership change needed to take place for the league, but did you believe that the league would be back in place at some point?
Well, I think what I believed and knew that it was going well. And I think everybody was pleased with the fan attendance. The TV viewership was strong and was good and improving. So I didn't know who might buy it, but I figured somebody would because of the beginning success that it had. People were enjoying it again, and I think numbers bear that out when you look at it, fan attendance overall. I mean, the last game at St. Louis, they were over 50,000 sold going in. We averaged 17,000 right there in Arlington, Texas. So, there's a good market for it. So it doesn't surprise me that it's back, and we are. The reason I'm in it and is because the confidence in our ownership. When you look at Dwayne Johnson and Jerry Garcia, I mean, these guys, they're real players, and Danny Garcia, I'm sorry, and Jerry is with Redbird Capital, one of our other owners. But this is a strong ownership group that loves football, and they want to make it great. And you look at the track record of all three, between DJ, Danny, and Redbird Capital, they don't lose. So I we've got great confidence it's going to move forward really positively.
Now, I do have to know, were you a big Grateful Dead fan since you brought up Jerry Garcia?
Yeah, no, I can't say that I was. No, but anyway, yeah. So we've got a strong ownership group that's really going to push this forward in a really in a positive way.
All right. So have you had a chance to sit down with The Rock, and do you face to face? Do you call him The Rock or do you call him Dwayne?
He said Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, I heard you say that, but I didn't know if he's like, no, I'd call me The Rock.
Yeah, we've talked. We've been together. In fact, we just got off a big weekend in Dallas with everybody, all the head coaches, and a lot of support staff around you, and Dwayne and Danny were both there for the whole weekend, so it was great. But yeah, we've talked, and great guy to be around. And no, I when I refer to him out there, I say Dwayne or The Rock. But when we talk, I'm at the point right. All I say is Dwayne. Yeah, good to visit with you. Great guy to be around, though. Really, just as he appears, really easy guy and fun, good guy to be around and visit with.
Did it take you any time to get used to playing in the baseball stadium? I know you were talking about the attendance and everything, but for a lot of us, it was kind of jarring the first time we saw it shifted into a football stadium.
Well, I hadn't been there much when it was a baseball stadium, so it didn't have that effect on me. So when I walked out there, I saw a full, 120-yard field. The same dimensions I've played on and coached on forever. So no, it was not much of an adjustment for me.
I'm kind of curious, Bob, with the way that college football is rocking right now with NIL. Do you kind of wish, I wish we would have had more of this NIL opportunity while I was doing my thing at OU.
Well, I'm all for I'm all for the players and having an opportunity like this and some kind of financial support, definitely. I worry there's no parameters and no guardrails on it. And so I don't know that this is all sustainable and what it's going to do the next year or two for, college football, which has been so successful and so good. And then you add in, now you could transfer whenever you want. Twice a year, every other year, whatever you want. And that's basically free agency with NIL money without any parameters. I mean, even in the NFL, they've got some guidelines, right?
Yeah. On
free agency and salary caps. Well, right now, we don't have that in college football, so who knows where it's going.
Man, we appreciate.
Do I wish I was dealing with it? No.
We appreciate your time very much, Coach. We're excited about the XFL being back in the Metroplex, being back in Arlington, especially since this is the headquarters for the XFL. So we're looking forward to things getting started next year.
We are too. In Arlington, even the last time we were there, man, they what a great area and town. They really support not just, our team, but they love their football there and the whole the Rangers organization has really been helpful and supportive of us. So everyone there has really just been outstanding, and look forward to being a part of the community for part of the year from here on out.
Well, we look forward to chatting with you when everything gets started next year. Have a good one, Coach.
All right, guys, good to be with you.
Thanks, Coach.